Hey, my battery died last night, but we'll continue. I had to keep working, obviously, because I gotta get this piano down. This is where we're at with it right now. So I marked the hammers where the strings hit it. I adjusted how far the una quarter pedal goes over. That's the una quarter pedal. Some things that need to be touched up on, and I needled in the una quarter position. And I discovered that these hammers, rarely do I see, I feel like I rarely see hammers that are over lacquered, where just so much hardener has been put into them that it's hard to voice the way you want. These have been over lacquered, but on this piano, it allows it to speak, and I think I'll still be able to make it sound, pretty good. Well, quite good. It already is starting to, sound better. The other major thing that I did was made sure I went through and filed the hammers on individual grooves to make sure that all three strings or all strings of a note, whether it's two or three, are being struck at the same time. And that's huge to get a good, consistent sound. So that's kind of where I stopped. And so you'll be able to, if my battery doesn't fail again on me or something weird happen, who knows? I mean, stuff can happen. I've got people coming to the shop this morning. We'll see what happens. But but hopefully we'll get to the final voicing now and final tuning. Needs to be tuned some more for sure before it goes out the door. That's what I'm doing. But first things first, I'm gonna get myself a bowl of cereal. It's early in the morning. I haven't had anything, so you're welcome to do whatever you want. But this is just very informal. This is just really not scripted. Truly meant to be just kind of a shop cam hangout. In fact, I probably talk too much for it on, but I just want you to feel like I'm present to the camera. But so I'm gonna get my breakfast and then we'll get going on it. I don't know if my power cord pulled out last night or just not a great charger and it couldn't keep up with the power draw on the thing. I don't know. But, so sorry about that if you were watching. I'm I don't eat breakfast right off usually. A lot of times I'm just not hungry for a little while after waking up, but this morning I am. There's these voicing tools right here. These are chopstick needlers that we've started to produce to have for sale on the website. They're just single needles, that anyone can you use to voice the piano. You can pull the needle out and adjust it. These have been in the industry a long time, and there was a gentleman, I think his name was Jason Hart, but Hart was his last name for sure, and he made these. And this is kind of just after what he had done. It's just I use them a lot, and it's handy. So there's a little wrench here, so that you can move, so you don't lose your wrench. There's a place to tuck it there, and this has an end cap on it because the ones that he would make, or whoever after him right now, I think Shaft sells them, but this cap would come off easily. So this is a tighter, smaller cap fit, and we put a rubber plug on the end so that it doesn't poke you, no matter what. And then, whoop, see, it's plenty tight on the end here. Let's see if we can get that to come off, actually. There we go. And so the needle's this is machined really nice, and there's a set screw in there that holds the needle, and you can trim your needle to whatever length you want. You can remove it, but we do have these for sale. They're not listed yet, but if you want one, you can just message me, or you could email me at saltlakepianoservice.com if you wanted. But anyways, that's those. So I'll be using this a lot on this piano. But anyway, these were sitting here, and I wanted to show them last night and didn't get a chance. We're also having these made, which are not available anywhere that I'm aware of, but I've got 4 needles. These are set and epoxied in so that they won't come out. This is specifically for voicing for your una corda. If your soft pedal on your piano doesn't work, you need it to work. Hey, Mark. I'm live on. I'm streaming, just so you know, but it's supposed to be pretty relaxed.
I'm actually gonna have to head out soon.
Oh, you got something going on?
Scheduled for an appointment with Park City. So.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Is there a way that Gazelle shows, will notify you of appointments scheduled? Like how you get an email.
Yeah, you can turn on notifications. Do you have the app running?
Yeah.
So,
I'm just surprised it doesn't do it automatically.
or maybe I get email, but I'll get a notification when it. So the first thing that'll happen is it'll say you have a reservation or whatever, and then I just go in the app and look.
Yeah, it's turned on for me. It says it here, and I don't get them.
You don't get an email?
No.
I'm trying to think what it looks like on mine.
Strange.
Maybe in your settings there's something you need to. Oh, my phone's being used for the camera, so I can't.
I went to the settings.
But it looks.
Now look at this. See notifications on. It says it's on.
What about you? And it's got your email and
Yeah.
stuff. So if you're in your dashboard, it should show up under pending reservations or whatever.
Except it doesn't. That's weird.
Well, you already approved it, right?
No, I never got anything for it.
How do you know that you got scheduled then?
Because it's here on my itinerary for today.
This is supposed to be Landon.
Oh, interesting. So you think that's a...
I think Brock scheduled it. Brock scheduled it for the right person.
I was gonna say I didn't put my area into Park City, I think.
Yeah, that was supposed to, I told him to schedule Landon. So that's a mistake. So I need to call this customer.
Well, good thing.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. I was like, I think I should be going to Park City.
Yeah, that one. The customer contacted me, and I wasn't gonna fit it in, but I thought, well, we'll just send out Landon.
Yeah, that's nice because I want to do restringing anyway.
So maybe because we just put you up on Gazelle, Brock isn't aware that you're there or aware what's going on. So we need to check with him when he comes in. So you're gonna keep stringing that Kanabi?
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Cool.
I need to get that tier 1 skill.
I was trying to decide, Mark, what constitutes tier 1. I had some good thought with it, but now I can't remember what it was. I'm just eating breakfast and keeping it casual here. Oh, play this piano with where we're at right now. Check it out. It's not done. So I haven't done anything more with the tuning.
Who tuned this?
Well, I've been playing on it. That's all. Just basically my regular thing. I like the piano though. It's just it's not a little raw still. You're not gonna get anything exciting like in terms of subtlety on this piano right now.
I can.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's see it. Every time you hit the keys, huh?
I found I have to like scoot back more to play.
Yeah, 'cause then you keep pushing, The piano?
And the playing.
The piano for sure. But the regulation, it's regulated pretty well.
this point. You know, I mean, the sound is kind of distracting right now.
Yeah,
So
the sound's a little abrasive.
definitely abrasive. And then, are you surprised how much it went out of tune from when it was kind of rough tune yesterday? Especially that high treble.
I'm not surprised because like I couldn't even get it to stay up when I was tuning it.
I didn't say who tuned it, Mark. Check E7.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. Is that just like, is it something with like my tuning technique? Or is it just because like the piano hasn't
Probably.
been tuned in a while?
Maybe a little combination, but probably it's technique. Like it's just that sense of feeling, like knowing when it's set. Yeah, when it's stable, when it's not gonna get knocked flat really easy. And I wasn't pounding on it. Well, I guess I was when I marked the hammers to voice them. I you know, but not like hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of regular, robust playing.
Okay, nobody plays up there anyways.
Not right now. They don't. No, it's kidding. No, it sounded great before, right? So
Yeah.
the tuning was like good. It was really good, but. One thing that's nice about it's a monster, right? Yeah. But you don't need. You almost don't need that much. But that will convert. I'll convert it into where that's nice because. But right now you can't play soft on some notes without it being really bright and metallic still. Like this is the unicorda. I voiced the unicorda like initially. But obviously not everything is, you know. There's a few there that
That's fun.
didn't or that have further to go.
That's funny because I was doing test blows and I couldn't. Like I did the test blow and I would do it, like bring it up further and put it back down, and then I test blow and then it would just fall out again. I did that like 3 or 4 times.
See, I don't really do that. I don't do the test blow that much anymore because you can do that. You can do that like where you hit it hard and you're like, oh, we're out of tune. Now I'm gonna fix it. Boom. Oh, we're out of tune. Now I'm gonna fix it. And what happens is I think you end up like heating up the string, and so it'll keep going out of tune when you do that. And then when it feels like it's set, then the string will cool off and it goes out of tune.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's more, I think you just hit enough. I mean, yes, some pianos for sure, you have to hit it a little harder to kind of render the string past the friction, the bearing points here, but I don't use them that much for that reason. I didn't, when I would do that when I was like, years ago, like working on stability, I'd say, okay, how stable is this? And I would play it like that, whatever. And then retune it, and that didn't seem to help my stability any. So it's just, I think it's more just a feel of like practicing, testing it to one side or another, and then feeling, just, I don't know, it's a sound too, like, okay, it's just a sense, like, okay, this is gonna stay.
Well, I do a test blow, I'm not like going like that,
Just like,
Yeah, not like super.
Oh, okay. But see, even that, like a lot of times I won't do that. I don't know. Sometimes I do it when I'm nervous, I think, and I don't think it helps necessarily, depending on the piano. If there's a lot of friction on the piano, then I think a harder test blow helps. If there's not a lot of friction, like a high angle, then it doesn't help. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so right now I'm gonna. I made it all done. You can probably tell that. I mean, this sound is like way. It's just more pleasing. When I made the hammers, that made a
huge difference.
It's like you're trying to make me tune the piano, and then you made it so you'd hear all the things I messed up for the piano.
Oh, I didn't say Mark tune this piano. No, I didn't. No, I mean it's a shop tune. You know, it's just like a
Yeah. Like,
whatever. So I'm gonna start poking it though with needles and. Actually, you probably, if you want to see this part, this might be valuable to you. And then when Carolyn says you can. Can you just
Go
take
to
a needle
town.
and go to town on this? Then you can say yes.
I don't
Yes,
care
I
what
can.
you do, Mark.
So I was showing the people, if anyone's watching, that we made these tools. And I was going to show these tools. I started to show these tools for the shift, but I had somebody epoxying the needles, or they were supposed to, and they didn't mix the epoxy right. So just now I pulled it out, all the needles pulled out.
I was going to tell you about that. I was shining them,
Yeah.
and like when I was doing it off, the needles were coming out, so they need to be.
Yeah, they need to be redone. But these are the tools. They're really great. I mean, I use this all the time. It's shaped to fit in a combo handle. If you don't know what a combo handle is, I've got mine right here that I was using last night after my battery died. And I've made this one myself, and the needles have not come out at all. So I think the employee just didn't mix the epoxy right. They didn't know how to do that, I guess. But anyway, obviously before we ship something like that out, if you want one, just let me know. I can't remember the cost on it, but if you give me just email to saltlakepianoservice@gmail, and I can get you the cost on it. It's not too bad. These tools last forever too. This one you won't have to replace really. These I end up replacing a lot because I lose them. Well, essentially, because you can keep reusing it because you can change out the needle on this one. So as long as you don't lose it, it should last a while. But so let's pull out this one, and we're gonna start painting on this piano for the tonally, right? And the needles we stuck in here are really long, so that you could, some people might want them longer. But we're going to trim this just a little bit. It's just a little bit long for my taste. So I'm just going to cut it with a whatever. I've got some needle nose pliers. I think, where's my bag? Yeah, there we go. Let's grab the needle nose out of there. Dampers are a lot better though, huh, than the last time you played it?
Yeah. F-sharp.
I think we pretty much took care of that. Yeah, F-sharp was like not going into the strings. So I'm just gonna trim a little bit off this. I'm trying to remember I think I measured this once, and I like it. Okay, I just threw my tool on the floor. I like a distance of about, I think it was like 4 or 5 millimeters. Well, that's too far though. Let's see, here's my. Not going in. There we go. The screw's a little tighter. That's what I like. And I'll tighten this and show you in a sec on the camera. I'll measure this here and see what it actually is, because I can't remember what the measurement is that I like, but it's sticking out about yay far. What is that? Do you have a ruler? Oh, I have them in here actually. So millimeters, it's right at 5.5, 6 millimeters, somewhere in there, and that's kind of where I like the length in general. That's what it looks like. And you're not necessarily going to use the whole needle on the treble hammers. This is a real small gauge needle, so I anticipate it'll bend a little, but so be it. So I've marked lines on the hammers with carbon paper, and some I've rubbed off as I was making it, but it's easier to see. I'm going to poke right On this piano, these are lacquered New York hammers. I'm going to poke right in the center on the top of the hammer. But it's important that I do each groove because it puffs up the felt where you poke it. And then all that mating that I did will be out the window if I don't redo it. So I'm just going to start somewhere where it's really bad. Like here. But what I'm going for first, I'm going to plunge the needle pretty deep. So Mark, I'm going about like 3/4 of the way on this needle. My first goal is that when I play piano or mezzo piano, I get that kind of tone color and the volume's pretty soft. That was a good contrast, right? So I'm just going to try and find here. I can't see my line exactly on this one, but. And I don't need to be too careful about this. I'm kind of giving each one the same treatment. You don't really have to worry about overdoing it. These are so hard and so bright right now, and they'll come back a little bit after I needle initially. I'm gonna push you in the quarter pedal. And I'm going to needle in that position on this one that sounded so nasty. No, I'm not hitting them really hard. I'm just going piano. I'm going to piano scale first.
You're trying to keep it completely even, right?
I'm not worried about completely even right now, but it will be way more even after I go through everything. If there's one that's soft, I'm not going to hit it.
Yeah.
I'm just hitting the ones that sound like this, right? Yeah. So we'll start like that. And this is really easy to do. And sometimes I might hit it a second time. And if I'm bouncing, I'm kind of probing for a hard spot. And then plunging. But again, right in the center of the line. There are different styles of voicing. You can needle in different places, and it gets slightly different results. But this is New York Steinway hammers. This is a really good way to start. See some of these come back. So then once it's for sure, like when I know what it's doing, I'll come back here and I'll hit it again. And I might have to hit some of these that were really hard, 3 times or so. And I'm kind of scatterbrained, so I kind of jump all over, when I hear something. I don't know, I just can't get myself to just be boring and efficient. And so you want to try and poke?
Yeah.
Do you know, have I showed you how to play
I did it
it
once briefly. You have to play it and catch the hammer.
Yeah, I'll pull the action out. This is worth, if anyone's watching the stream, it's worth everyone kind of learning. So the idea is, I just need something to kind of brace against so that I can actually push the needle in there, right? And if I brace it against here it's caught on the back check. If I push against that, it'll bend the wire and it'll change my checking setting. Mm-hmm. So I don't really want to do that. But I play the note off the string, boom, and now it's in check. Then I stick my thing through and I just push it down. And so I can't push too hard on the key or it'll keep it from going down. But enough to you keep the key down with your hand and just kind of slide that down. And then when you're probing around, you find a hard spot. I can't remember if this is one I want to poke, so I won't poke it right now. But you find a hard spot, and then you kind of let up on the key because now your needle's pushing it against the cushion, right? You don't necessarily need to like be holding that there. But once you finally push, then you just put here, and then boom. Now it's resting against the cushion there, and it's firmly supported.
Mm-hmm.
Some pianos, it's kind of a pain. The shanks don't line up with the cushions well, and it'll slip into the crack as you're pushing. Oh well, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you'll come from the other side of the string to try and push the hammer a little bit that way, centered on the cushion, so it doesn't happen because it's annoying. But so just poke right in the middle of each of the grooves. You know what? To make this easier, I'm gonna remark the grooves. It'll make it so much easier for you. So it's just carbon paper. And the ink side goes up. You put the ink on the strings. Strings. Now I play it to get it. So I did do this last night, obviously. So that. My hand is like arthritic or something this morning. But so now there should be ink on all the lines. So now he can see those lines a lot easier. So just go through the scale. Yeah, but just play it yourself so you can feel that, you know. It's way metallic, right? So play it till it's in check. Yeah, is it in check? Yes. Okay.
Are you going from this side?
I usually start from the right side of the group of strings, and I'll hit the right string in the middle one, and then sometimes I'll switch over to the other side to hit the left one, or sometimes I'll just cheat from that same side.
So that looks supported, right?
I can't see actually. Yeah, that's supported. Yeah.
And then I can just push down.
And then you can just push down, yeah.
And you're going like 3/4.
About 3/4 of the length of this needle. I mean, the hammer kind of dictates it by how hard it is.
And you're going right on the top.
But on these hammers right now, going deeper is not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because the brightness will kind of come back, but it'll give it a more lush tone. Mm-hmm. So we're okay. And just right in the center of the groove, and do it on each one. Even if not every, what am I saying? Even if, let's say all three of the strings aren't bright and ugly sounding, only like one or two of them are, I'm still going to hit all three at this point, just to preserve the mating, that it hits all three strings at the same time. Otherwise it messes that up. I gotta put my milk away. Oh, by the way, you left my favorite refried beans out.
I thought about that last night.
I forgive you.
It's hard, like, to press the needle in. It
Yeah.
takes a lot more effort than I would think.
These are very hard hammers. Yeah.
Oh wow, difference.
So now play your scale. Yeah. Now give that one give the A that you just did a test blow. Walk it a little bit. Bop, 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 bop. I'll just kind of reconstitute the felt a little bit. And notice it went a lot brighter just from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
That
just
one's
keep,
pretty strong.
yeah, just keep going up the scale. This is super easy to do. And as long as your hammers are hard enough to start from, it's almost like you can't go wrong, you know? So. Excuse me. And I'll supervise.
That zero sugar root beer.
Do you like it or not?
It tastes like exactly like root beer to me.
We did in the family for fun. Did I tell you about this? We did a root beer taste testing contest. We had like 10 different kinds. And Diet A and W won. It was a blind test.
Yeah, it tastes good to me.
So this is step 1 of voicing. We're kind of just breaking the initial over hardness of these hammers up, and so that when we play quietly on the piano, we can actually play quietly, and that the tone will change too. So it's a nice mellow, soft, intimate sound. And this will not kill the strength of the piano when we play louder. So right now, like on this piano, we're limited in our dynamics because it's so hard and bright. The hammers are so hard that it's like we can go really loud on this piano right now, but we can't play very soft. So our dynamic range is kind of limited. So right now we're opening it up, and it's going to kind of go like this, and then also balancing it out. And those two things will make it feel like we have so many more colors and dynamics available on the piano to use. And evenness too. But we're going to focus more on evenness on the next step. That's a nasty one, huh? It's like the hammers have super glue on them. These hammers have way too much lacquer in them. These aren't new. This is a piano that we were hired to regulate voice and redo the dampers on, the damper felts and regulation only. We didn't replace any parts or anything like that. So we're just trying to get the sound and feel as best as we can with the parts, action parts that are already on it. Now, let me feel it because, let me sit down because in this area, this is the most sensitive part of most pianos, but especially Steinway grands, right, where sometimes it's too dead or it's too weak, right? Mm-hmm. So we want to be careful we're not overdoing it. So maybe not so deep as you come into this. This piano, I think, is going to be really forgiving in the end as we just play on it for a second. It'll probably come back strong enough, but again, these few notes on either side here, you want to be really careful of not to overdo it. In general, where there's less felt, as you go up the treble on the top of the hammer, you're going in shallower, more shallow.
So more like half or a fourth.
Mm-hmm. And then as you go, when the hammer's bigger, you have to go deeper and more pokes to make a difference. Whereas up here, just a tiny poke sometimes will make a big difference. It's really different than where it came from already. Right, so we're like here, it all sounded like this before, right? And so keep going. And actually, this doesn't bother me. It's a little strong, but it's not ugly, right? So with one of these chopstick needlers, like you could make a big difference, especially if you have Steinway. You can make a big difference in a hurry, and it would be a good thing. You can make a piano sound way, way better by just picking the notes that are just uneven and too bright. These I think I'm selling for these
these chopstick needle tools. I think I'm selling for like 25 or 30, 25 or 30, and then shipping on top of that. I have to check what my cost was on it, but it's somewhere around there. These I think will be like around 15 or 20, but this one will last a very long time. And then I also had the machinist make out of some, ouch, I just poked myself with needles. I had the machinist make some little babies with just one needle. It was machined to fit in the combo handle, but that was actually, that doesn't matter. It's just more because then your thumb can go right here. This is actually for like an upright piano, single needle, and you can change the needle out. It's meant to have a set screw in it. It's machined and threaded. And you just, basically you just poke, on an upright, you reach in there and you can poke in here this way. I'm going to put little rubber booties on the end of this. I'll show you. I think I have one right here. Excuse me. So we'll put these we can put these little rubber feet on it. And then it's more comfortable on the finger as you're reaching into an upright. And if this is a hammer, and you can poke in that way. I like to use something like this. I have a tool also that pivots, and it's a 3 needle, but I really like to work with 1 needle sometimes because I can go in really easily and quickly, almost faster than 3 at a time. So I'll sell these also. I can't remember what they are, but they're probably going to be around 15 or 20. Same thing as the other little ones. Because you can imagine it's all the same operations machining wise. It's just less raw materials. So it's not that much different in cost. But again, this could be a really powerful tool on little uprights. So I will have these for sale. I don't have them listed yet, but you can email me if you're interested. SaltLakePianoService@gmail. So.
You want me to copy strike your live stream?
What?
You want me to get you a copy?
Right strike? Oh,
yeah,
no.
by playing Happy Birthday?
No. Is it your birthday?
No.
It's my brother's birthday. Okay, so where are we at right now? Okay, just get that one.
Still sounds strong.
Yeah, get that one. Once you get the bulk of them, then I'll just swap you in. I'll knock it out. Well, obviously, if you do this a million times, you get really fast at it, and you just. A lot easier to do. Yeah, it's way. That's a good point. It's way easier. Did you do all 3?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm quick. I can only go from that side on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of see what you mean. Like you have to have a really good tuning to tell the voice.
Oh, at first, yeah, because sometimes if the unisons are way out, you might think,
it's a voicing.
is it louder or not?
Yeah,
it's
like
hard to
this
say.
one, like it's tuning's bad, but
it's probably both. When you do it after a while, you kind of get used to it, and this is kind of like maybe the initial voicing, and then after we do a fine tuning, I'll go over it again for evenness, and it'll worse off show. These strings actually do have a lot of rust on them, Mark. So it makes sense that it was a little harder to tune.
anything that makes it so it wasn't that. That one's still strong, I think.
Well, keep that one, but it's got a color that's
Yeah.
kind of nice right now. So just leave that zone kind of alone right now.
Yeah.
But there was one below it that I want. That one. Hit that one again. Just get all that pinginess. And then that's kind of this initial pass for the voicing. Get that F sharp, right?
Yeah.
And you want to try and poke each groove in the same way, if you picture it ruffling up the felt, to try and preserve that mating where it's hitting the strings all at the same time. So that was a little strong. Did you go deep? Did you go pretty deep or something?
No, I only went maybe down.
Okay. So that was a little much change for what I was hoping.
Yeah.
So you just be a little more judicious, like, but when you get used to it. Yeah, you want to get that one? That's a nasty one. Is that the one that where a string broke and someone spliced it?
No,
Oh, that's the one next to it. So yeah, you can really change the character, especially of a New York Steinway piano, but really any piano. You can change the voicing character of it in not a lot of time. So there, I would have been a little more, not quite so
Wider.
aggressive on that one. So at this point, that's good. We've done our first pass. Here, I'll trade you. If you want to keep like kind of seeing ideas, you can or work either way, or you can go into whatever you need to do. This one kind of slaps the strings hard. And so Mark, you could see maybe, I don't know if you can see the needle, but I'm not going very far.
Oh, yeah. I definitely went further than that.
You kind of read the hammer, and it naturally stops, the density of it naturally kind of stops it. But, I think we're fine still. So we basically want some layers of felt on the outside that are softer, that are what's the word? Putting a nice soft edge on the tone. But then underneath are the harder layers. So when you push it hard, you still get a lot of volume and you still play bright. These are pretty close. I'm just kind of poking them just a little bit. And I steered you I was like, oh, you can't mess this up, just put it in there. And I was like, oh, that's too much, right? But that's kind of the story of working on pianos. When you've done it a long time, you forget what it feels like when you're new at it. So here's a note where so this next note, this one, the yours is way out of tune. And the tendency, like you were saying, might be like, oh wait, that's really different than the others. Maybe I need to needle it, but actually the tone is the same. It's actually even still.
Always helps having the context
Yeah.
of notes around it.
Well, that's really all voicing is, right?
Yeah.
It's so relative to the context of how strong the others are. And balance and evenness is always stronger than unevenness.
Do you ever find people ask for certain voicings
No.
on, like, say I play a lot of Schubert, do you think they would want a more mellow piano?
They may want that, like you're talking like really nice, really fine pianists, right?
Yeah.
They may want that, but I think they're just used to. I think the only time they would say something is if it's just way too over the top, and I needed a little more mellow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Say you have a piano and there's two notes up in that range you're in, and they're like the sound is completely dead.
Two notes.
notes on my piano, like the G sharp and A, one of those, like two of those notes are like the B flat.
It's probably a strike issue. You're talking up here?
Yeah, like I could hit it like kind of hard and it barely sounds.
And you have a Yamaha. So it's probably a strike point issue. But maybe it's been over needled or something. And the hammer's not hard enough to bring out the sound. But also mating helps. Because it's only hit one string, it'll sound different.
Okay.
But up here, it's usually strike point. All strike point and mating. Or alignment. Is it hitting all three strings, like side to side? Okay. Now these naturally, for me, what I like, these are going to be brighter than down here. To me, this is a little too mellow in character for what I like, but it's okay. Because it goes bright really easily. What I'm hearing here on this piano is more an issue probably of where the hammers were hung. On some Bs that we rebuild, I noticed this will sound crystal clear and nice, and then right here it sounds weird. And I end up rehanging the hammers. Now it's something different in character, right? I don't like this still. I think that's too far though. See, it actually sounds better here. Now these speak out nice and clear. But now this is like dead, right? Because the strike point. So the pianos that we rebuild and install the hammers on Bs and Ds, the 7 and 9 foot settings, a lot of times. But this one still is. I need to finish my sentences. We end up hanging the hammers this way a little bit. And it brings out the tone of the string a little bit. But we're not going to do that on this piano. It's outside of the scope of this job. We're just trying to make it, we have to just make it blend and sound as good as we can. But this is the character now of this. You have some kind of nasal, or I don't know, just kind of stuffy compared to. Watch her play it.
It probably helps more to play it.
Yeah, because you feel a difference. So play it. Here, right this area, right before here.
More quieter.
When it's quieter, and you would have to work really hard to try and bring it out. No. It speaks out better, right? And that's when I move the action that way.
Other than the quieter, you just push it in for it to be quieter, right?
Yeah, push it in really far. It's like you got the air cord up
I'm
there.
really trying to do
Yeah.
if I'm voicing.
It's kind of like just not a pleasant sound to me. That's better. But this is where it's set. Probably right about there where I had it a little bit. Oh. So this isn't awful where they have it, but this note and this note are weak because it's not hitting the optimal place for the length of the string. But we're going to try and just kind of blend it a little bit. So again, where I've poked already, it's going to be softer. So I don't want to necessarily poke in the same place, so I'll go forward or backward of where I poked before.
If you could poke more like closer towards you, will it do a bigger change? Because does the hammer hit right on the top of the hammer, or is it a little bit on the front of it?
It just depends. But basically, to your question, right now it doesn't matter. Just feel either side, just a little bit further out. We'll go a little bit. Now in this case, it's getting pretty soft. I'm going to go kind of forward and to the right of the groove a little bit. This note isn't really bright. It's actually kind of stuffy, but it's too strong. But here I'm getting to detail of my description. So if there is one that's like louder and brighter, I will poke deeper on that one. Or another way is that goes slower and stay in a little longer. Like just the whole action's just slower. And it has more effect. I think that's why also when you first start doing it, it makes a big change. Because how quick you go in and out makes a difference.
So if you go slower, it's going to make more.
It's gonna make more of a difference. It's like you're ironing that hole in
That's
there.
probably why mine were so sensitive.
You notice the brightness on these comes back like pretty easily. So we're gonna kind of keep playing with them till they sound good with the rest. So we want enough sparklies where it sounds magical, not so many that it sounds metallic and cheap. The higher frequencies have to be balanced with the lower frequencies of that tonal spectrum. Something buzzing here. So this sounds kind of dull actually, but it's louder. But that's not cool. I don't want that, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna try and just I can't have it be louder like that. I'd rather it's gonna be a little more dull though. This is like the third or fourth time I poked this C sharp probably. Now I'm gonna go to away from me on the end of the string groove and go deep, and then on my side and go deep on both sides. In other words, of the ends of the groove. Which actually that's not what I wanted, but it'll work. So. That kind of just made the notes smaller overall, but kind of preserves the color. But I'm going to go back in the middle again. These notes get strung really easily in general.
Like they get over the top?
Over the top strong, yeah, really easy. And so you end up voicing this a lot. Getting a little more nitpicky on the. I was kind of refining a lot further than that step one, you know. Yeah. Because I think now I've done, I just kind of do everything like as I go, but rather than in stages. soft red. Expanding that soft red to a lower volume and color level. So these were matching before. Now you do the contrast. So it's a huge difference. Here, let me poke a few. Just come down from there. You can kind of play and see how it's taking shape. Yeah, we'll have to keep hitting those up. Play an octave or something or a chord. It's starting to take color. That's kind of nice. The balance. This is a little more subdued than up here, right? Anyway, so you can kind of see where we're going to a good place. See if there's any comments on the chat. Yeah, definitely. You see how it play your piano scale, or okay, mezzo piano. Right, it's a big difference in volume, so you need to even that out. So yeah, I don't know, to simplify it, we're just making sure it doesn't sound too metallic and gross. And we're doing it at all the dynamic levels, and then we're making sure each note's kind of balanced with its neighbors.
Better, right?
Yeah. So just keep going. You're basically going to poke just about every one in the same way to get that same quality. So maybe skip like one or two or three. Even though it's not so like metallic bright, it's stronger, it's louder, right?
This one, right?
Than the C, right? It's way louder. So you need to poke it, just poke it in the same way. I think it's important that people not be scared of voicing. People will throw out comments like Mark told me one the other day. Someone said, if a technician puts lacquer on a hammers, then they definitely don't know what they're doing. You know, and people will throw out comments like this that are just uninformed and just not helpful. Just forget about what people are saying and focus on making the piano sound better. And don't be afraid to poke it with a needle and try it out. If it goes too far, there are ways to go back. You can either harden it with a solution, you can file the grooves just a little bit, and it'll come back just fine. The other one I hear a lot is people, you'll ruin this set of hammers, you'll ruin it. I just think that's, yeah, maybe it's possible to do, you know, in extreme cases to ruin a set of hammers, but these are over lacquered, but we're still going to make this piano sound way nice. So anyway, that's my take on that. You were in the hammer a long time on that one?
I went pretty quick.
Oh,
I
was
had
quick.
the needle on top just to make sure it's where I want it to be, but I went.
Oh, okay. Hit that A again. That's fine. It's fine, and that's fine to like hit the worst. Always say like hit the worst ones first. You know, to make sure you're not taking the whole thing down and down and down, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, we want to take the whole thing down and down, so it's okay. I hit an A hard to settle it in a few times. So notice it's still like brighter. But you can skip it for now because it's got somewhat of a similar quality, right, compared to the F sharp. Right, that one just pops, so it's louder. and I might lose some popularity. Not that I was popular before, but by saying this, but it's one thing if a pianist says, "I'm trying to do this such and such on this piece, and I can't because this note's too mellow or too bright." That's fine. But a lot of times pianists will talk to a concert technician, or they might talk as if like the technician can't hear what they're saying or can't whatever. And I don't know, maybe that's because there are a lot of technicians out there that aren't as sensitive to it. But to me, it's kind of weird. It's like I'm poking hammers all day, every day, and listening to evenness, you know. And it's like a beginner telling somebody who's advanced at something, "Oh, that's a little off," or you made a mistake right there. It's kind of weird. Yeah, definitely. You can go a little deep, you know, on these, right? Because it's softer too, right? You can go deep farther, easier, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hit it hard, hit it hard. There's another one you need to poke there. Yeah, yeah. Right. Hey, if anyone has any chat comments, I'll check it here and there. And I mean, Mark's doing all the work right now, so I'll check that here and there as we need to. Going. And I mean, but it's really casual. But if you don't want to be in the it's funny though, we were doing this, I just showed him some voicing stuff, and if somebody made a comment like through Instagram, they're like, will someone tell the guy who keeps talking to hush? I just want to hear what the technician's doing. Like, the guy talking is the technician. Are you sending it to the 916? Hey, well, we'll cut out the stream. We'll get some work done, but this gives you a flavor of some of this, what you can do with this needle and whatnot. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.